Hi. Did you know that color is actually a vibrational frequency and that it is the frequency of the particular color is what actually hits the refraction in our eyes and then creates what we see. Think about that. This is Christy Karate with Christy's Clarity, and for the next many months I'm going through my book actually, Beyond the Box, Creative Thinking Expanded. And what one of the core um, components of this book is that I took the art metaphors, the art principles, and changed them into use them to explain the life metaphors for the universal laws. Now, that wasn't very eloquently spoken, but it was in my head, right? So, today we're going to talk about the frequency. What colors are you thinking? Now, I just had an amazing session with a client, and it was like she would say, I know that, but then she'd realized that she was still thinking other thoughts that were producing another result. So, how do we begin to think the thoughts that we want to be creating in our lives? You know, when we say things like, "Oh, my eyes are so bad. I can't see very well." Not only does that affect our eyes, it really does affect our eyes and the potential of our eyes getting better, but it's also the open metaphor of seeing life. And that's why I love to use color to explain what you're thinking. So in my book, I talk about the color ochre. Okay. And a lot of people say that the color ochre looks like, baby poo. And yet, what's really exciting about ochre is one of my favorite color combinations is ochre and purple, right? It's such, and if you think about the color wheel, it's opposite. Ochre is kind of a yellowish color, and purple is opposite on the color wheel. Those are called complementary colors, and they complement each other, right? So, one of the things that you can do to change the color or the thoughts that you are having that are creating experiences in your life that are not your desired thinking is to find the complementary of that. For instance, okay, so I have a squeaky chair. Okay, and so when I'm recording things, I have to be very quiet. But now, since I've told you I have a squeaky chair, you're going to be listening for it. And maybe your attention is going to that more than the words that I am saying, right? So, how do we complement that and bring our thinking into the thoughts that we want, even though there are these other distractions out there that keep us from thinking the thoughts that we want to manifest, to create? I know manifest tends to be a buzzword, but I will guarantee you, now, let me finish that thought. I will guarantee you that your thoughts reflect themselves into your life and they become your reality. Now, people say, well, I didn't ask for a pandemic. No, you didn't ask for a pandemic. But I will tell you, if that was ochre and you chose more browns and poopy colors, right? Then your image of pandemic would look more poopy. So, boy, this is professional, right? But like I said, purple and ochre make a great complement. And that's what I did for the beginning of the pandemic. I kind of said, wow, I have 3 months off, right? We all thought it was going to be 3 months, right? I have 3 months off. What if I wanted to do? Well, one of the things was to write a book, and I did it, right? And yes, I did not get COVID. I did not have family members that I lost to that. And if you were in that situation, no, you did not have the thoughts that created that. but you create your world by what you produce in it. Like joy, right? I can be joyful, and the more joyful I am, the more I create joy in my life. And it's really true. Now, we've all walked into that party that's very, or a memorial maybe, and it's really dark and dank, and we kind of fall into that. And yet, we have the ability, if we start consciously thinking, and I use color to think, oh, what is the color here? Oh, this is kind of a dismal, beigey, gray, dark color tone, right? And as you can see from, the shirt that I'm wearing today, I love to be colorful and creative. But you don't go into a memorial service and just splash on the bright colors, right? But you can find colors or thoughts or experiences that can take you from that dull beigey color to something that enhances it. Now, think of a misty morning out over the ocean, right? And you have the beigey colors in the clouds, and then you can add ripples of kind of light turquoise. So it's never going to go to those vibrant colors. And how do you do that with your thoughts? Well, walking into a memorial service, you can think, wow, this person really made a difference in my life. Bing, there comes those highlights, right? And wow, listen to what that person, I never knew about that person, right? And that's actually the purpose of a memorial, right? Is to remember the things that those people gave us so that those memories and thoughts last, okay? Now, we get to choose. And I know sometimes when we lose a beloved, that it's hard to get to that place. And sometimes we need to find other areas in our life to color in order to help us bring our color frequency up. And so, what I want you to think about this next week until we come together next Friday at 10:10 for Christie's Clarity is like, how can I highlight something and bring greater light and attention to something that I love? And notice that as you accelerate that frequency of color in your life, that more of that joy is attracted to you. We have a choice of our lives and our experiences. We don't have the choice over the world situations, earthquakes, things like that. But I will tell you that the more your frequency is in that joyful realm, the more you will avoid things crashing down around your life. It's so true. People sometimes ask me, how do you have such a wonderful life? How do you get to travel? My brother, who was a retiree from Microsoft as a multimillionaire at the age of 37, said, I don't know how you travel so much, Christy. I can't afford to do that, right? It's what we pay attention to. I don't have the big house. I don't have those things, but I have my joy that I create here in my house. Yes, my living room walls are painted purple. My fence is purple. My front door is purple. And I even do that, create joy around me to make sure that I hold my frequency high. But pay attention. Most people don't realize what their thoughts truly are. Oh, I have bad teeth. Wow, those teeth just got worse when you let that cross the threshold of your thinking. So today and for the next week, pay attention to the colors of your thoughts and only let the beautiful color combinations and joy that you want to create in your life pass the threshold of your thinking. This is Christy Karate. I look forward to seeing you next Friday at 10:10, or checking out my YouTube page for the Christie's Clarity, or watch, being friends with me on Facebook. You see all of these Christie's Clarity. Look forward to talking to you next week. Have a great week.